Good evening. How are you, Jess? How was your fancy do last night? Very fancy. You're not very fancy. Where I went with the dragon. Very fancy. You didn't go for the Babadook in the end. Lit tired. I never feel it. I went to the tip earlier today, and then decided to go out of my way to get a Starbucks drive-through up the busiest road in Bristol. So get myself a nice big coffee and then drive back home through like some weird ass streets and stuff. Get back, have the coffee and stuff, and I'm like, I'm pooped. I just did a coffee and I'm pooped. So I went and nap. Saturday afternoon naps are great. You have probably done far more. You're just like, you just went to the tip and that was it. You've probably done far more than me. Why have you pooped up? Oh yeah, I'm talking to myself. I didn't sleep well last night. Oof. Woke up for. Oof. Carrying on for a very walk. Oof. Yeah, you have done more than me. I took some boxes to the tip. And of course, if you want comedy, what you need to do is give me like a massive box like this. Let me carry it down the hallway and go, oh no, wait. The box is between me and the door. How am I going to do this? What I should have done was gone down, opened the door, then got the boxes. But no, I'm a buffoon. Oh no, Hypray has entered the chat. And look who's here. Hello. He's talking to himself. He's talking to himself. That must mean that treats are nearby. But yeah, I always find, because I guess you were in a hotel last night, I guess, Jess. Looked like you were in a hotel by those pictures. That or your home decor choices are very much like a travel tavern. And I tend to find that I don't often get a good night's sleep at a hotel. Don't know what it is. Like, but that was your bedroom. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst. Accusing you of having decor like a travel tavern. I'm sorry. I'll just end the stream now, shall I? Hi, Kathy. I'm just insulting everyone. Don't mind me. Ah, right, okay. Unusually tight because you're selling it. Yes, hello. Yes, hi. Hello. Hi, Orky. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, yes. Hello. Oh, look out, the other biscuit wanter has joined. Hello. Here they are. Insult Kathy next. My pizza is currently unoccupied, this is true. Hi Kira, how you doing? I haven't really said much, Ray. Honestly, I've just been pointing the camera at the cats, who are, of course, being pests. I'm trying to think of an appropriate insult for Kathy, given that, you know, I'm apparently now just insulting everyone in chat. Kathy, you have the clothing taste of a 1970s housewife. How's that? Hi, yes. Kisses for chat. Kisses? Kisses for chat. No, I haven't insulted you yet, Ray. She'll take it. Okay. Yes, hello. Hi. I'm not being... Hi, Art. How you doing? It took me long enough to think of an insult there for Kathy. It's very hard. We should just play video games instead of trying to insult chat. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Art loves you. Art loves you. Yeah. Let's give up on the insulting everyone in chat because I'm not good at it. If I were actually good at insulting people, I'd probably be a much bigger streamer. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Ready? Ready? There you go. Gap butt. Snuff. Snuff. Go get them. They're over there. Here we go. There he is. Munch. Munch, crunch. Crunch, munch. Munch, 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 munch. Yeah, Orko will definitely steal from his brother once he realises there's stuff to steal. Also, I might have given Snarf a little bit more, because Snarf's going to do the thing again where he's just going to like... Jamioli. There we go. There we go. Snarf, you're going to be fast. You're going to be strong. You're going to be wiser. You're going to be cool. You're going to be... Oh, I can't remember the words. You know the song I'm referring to. That's it, Snarf. Snarf has table manners in that he... but then he swipes them off. And Orko just... Oh wow, Orko paused for a second. Bat him out of the way, Snarf. Bat him out of the way. This is actually quite funny now. They're fighting over the last couple. That it. I think that's it, lads. That's it. They've gone. They've gone. Are you going to give kisses to chat? Stuff? Kisses? Mwah! Kisses. Is Orko a werewolf? Maybe he is. Right. Are we ready to play a video game? We have treated the cats. I have badly insulted everyone. I say badly insulted everyone. I've badly insulted Kathy and just straight out insulted Jess. Let's play a video game. That's why we're all here, right? That's why we're all here. The mysterious, not often spotted, stripy werewolf. In a second, we might have the game load. There we go, got a mouse pointer. Yes, I'm too nice to actually insult anyone. Like, I can insult people, but I just sort of like boil down calling them cunts. You know, I'd have to like not like them to like actually properly insult them. But you lot are you're just too nice. You're just this lovely bunch. How, you know, I can't like properly insult you. You're all lovely. Right. More sexy wolf sex cult. You forgot the fascist. Sex cult, fascist wolf, sex cult. That doesn't scan so much, I think I'm gonna give it up. Yeah! Alright, we are Grace. Sound like Matt Berry. Let's have some sexy sex. Let's go down and see Gerda and see if we're friends yet. Well, there is no Gerda.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Best character, but not the best trousers.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Well, Gerda's not here, so what is she up to? Maybe while we were having crazy dreams, she went into the library.
Grace Nakamura.
That's right.
I wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before. Yep, English. Huh.
Finally! A book in English!
There's nothing else on werewolves in the occult section.
I'm not sure what other case books would be relevant.
I know, she's very happy. Obviously, we haven't got enough to write a letter, have we?
I'll write to Gabriel. Soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water.
I love it. It's a competition now.
It wasn't worth picking up the first time. Who should I call?
That's a good question. Weren't we meant to be getting a phone call from this dude?
Professor Barkley will call when he finds out something.
Alright now. They'll call back. Alright. Well... we're gonna call the Elite. Sorry, that was a wrestling thing.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
I was having a little happy blub on Thursday morning that there was a cowboy in a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man costume. Wrestling's weird. Right, hold on a second. Just want to show you this. What were you doing, Orko? He's just licking the box. He's like, oh, there was dreamies on here. I'm gonna lick the box. Make your own puns. You're a box licker, Orko. Serious piano music. Right, we still haven't got the keys, so I guess we're going to town. This just makes me think of Nightmare all the time. We should have a skull with bits of like head falling off it. Gonna get mileage out of that. We paid an actor to put a coat on. Any mail for us?
Guten Tag.
Grüß Gott, Frau Nakimura. Ich habe etwas für Sie.
Oh, it's from Gabriel.
Ja, das ist vom Schattenjäger. Ja.
No, I think you... Gabriel is a working partner and... Never mind. Danke.
Bitte, brauchen Sie noch etwas?
My German isn't good enough for chit-chat.
No, we haven't got anything else.
Danke.
Bitte.
Alright, we haven't... How's the cloak notes from Gabe? That's a good question. It's from the Schattenjäger. She recognises his handwriting? Oh, hi Rick, how you doing? We haven't had a good read. So we're going to sit in the town square and read about Ludwig II, the fairy tale king of Bavaria. They both sound so dismissive about casual conversation. Danke, bitte. Ludwig II, Fairy Tale King Bavaria by Sir Richmond Chapel. Bertel Publishing. What is that symbol? Is that going to come in handy?
Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive. He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships. The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult. In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition and loved to hike alone in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Schahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Shahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on, and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years.
A hunting accident?
A hunting lodge. And yeah, the audio matching is terrible, isn't it? Skipped a bit there, didn't we? Page 1, page 81.
Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved.
A noble man, eh? Very incel-esque behaviour there. No, not young men. Shocking.
A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische Archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit. His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by His Majesty, that should tell you who the young man looks like, at all hours of the night. This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880, when he fell into disfavor.
Parallels with Gabriel and Baron von Glover?
The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of the diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate that Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation, yet it is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart and his conscience to sin.
So this is twink energy as far as I understand the concept. Sounds like it, doesn't it? Is that it? That's it, I think. Nothing in chapter 6. So, parallels with Baron von Glover and Gabe, I think. And also, yeah, big twink energy. Let's have a look. We've also had a letter from Gabe.
Gracie, you decided to come over. That's great. Good and tag and all that. I'm sure you and Gertie are hitting it off. Thanks for finding the werewolf book. I'm not sure what it all means, but it might be useful. But Ludwig II, you know, I think you might have something there. Ubergrau says there are 2 places you should check out. Ludwig had a castle called New Swan something, and there's a museum about him here in chemistry. Something like that. I really think you should spend some time looking into it.
Here in chemistry. I wonder what that's actually going to be.
Don't worry. Things are going very smoothly this time around. I've tracked a suspect to a hunt club run by a man named Von Glauer. He seems okay, but I'm sure there's something going on with at least one of the others. Don't worry, though. I met a police detective named Lieber, so I have backup. I'll be finished soon. Sit tight and enjoy your visit till I get there. Gabriel.
What does he think? I'm on vacation here? And no address. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight.
Dismissal of German foreign language helps. Is it really weird, given everything we've known about Gabriel in the past game and a half? It's not that weird, really, is it? Alright, cool. Well, if you're not being paid, possibly you are on vacation, Chris. Well, no, the thing is, she is being paid now, right? Anyway, let's go to the pub, because here's someone who knows a lot about Ludwig II. Oh god, it's the Americans. I was like, oh god, look at her hair. Then I remembered who it was.
Herr Huber?
Yes?
I was wondering if you've changed your mind about telling me where Gabriel is. It's really important.
No. Sorry.
Fuck you then, Herr Huber.
Thanks.
Bitte?
Fine, I'll just stare at pictures of Ludwig II by myself.
So that's King Ludwig II of Bavaria.
Big couldn't give a fuck energy.
I have no idea what that says. Looks old.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed much. And then
King Ludwig II of Bavaria.
the worst stick-on beard ever. Oh. Shall we talk to the Warrens? Very big twink energy from that pick, yes. We can talk to the pseudo Warrens, even though the real Warrens are pseuds as well, but
Hello there, dear.
Hi, I'm Grace Nakamura from the castle. Am I interrupting?
Heavens, no.
Have a seat, Miss Nakamura.
Well, I might. For a moment.
Isn't this nice? We just finished our breakfast. Do you want something?
No, thanks.
Good for you. I can never turn down food myself. Now you just tell us all about it, Sugar Pie.
Oh. What do you know about hairspray?
You mentioned the other night that you were a demonologist. What is that exactly?
Well, it's not as bad as it sounds, honey. What Emma and I really do is to help protect people.
Protect them from what?
Well, do you believe in the devil, Miss Nakamura?
I believe in good and evil, if that helps.
Oh, but Satan and his demons are real, and they will attack the living. And most folks don't know what to do once they've been attacked. We try to help protect people.
How can you protect people from demons?
The best protection is faith in God, of course. But sometimes faith isn't enough. Sometimes we have to delve into the supernatural in order to protect others. Your Schottenjoggers are just the same.
We are? I mean, he is?
Of course. The warriors of light are rare these days, but they do exist all around the globe.
That's interesting. I just read about a group called Manos del Sol in Brazil. So the Ritters aren't the only Schottenjägers.
Well, they're probably the only ones to use that title, but others have been chosen for the battle.
What is a demonologist exactly? Oh, Oh, it's nothing to be worried about. Ominous synth music plays. Well, if there's nothing to be worried about, why is the guy with the DX7 going? Oh no, Kira's ruined the joke. Should we delete the thing? Two Bears Pants gonna get ruined. Do. Alright. Let's keep talking to Ed and Lorraine Waller and our demonologist friends.
Do you know anything about King Ludwig II?
Sure, we saw his castles, didn't we, Mother?
We sure did. Why do you ask?
Well, I found a letter in the Schottenegger library warning Ludwig about the Black Wolf.
Who wrote the letter?
One of Gabriel's ancestors, a Schottenegger.
Seems like whoever was using me as a megaphone helped you find that letter. Perhaps you should follow the path something's pointing at. Look into Ludwig.
I intend to.
Yeah, that's what we were doing anyway. Thanks, Lorraine. Is he calling her mother? Because, yeah, well...
The other night you said something about the Black Wolf. What did you mean? Where did you hear that name?
I wasn't the one talking.
I don't understand.
Well, that's quite all right. The point is, it would be a very good idea to answer those questions, and we must work together to do so. Of course I'll help you, Pumpkin. I'd like to know myself, wouldn't I? It isn't every day one's taken over by a disembodied spirit, and I don't much care for it, thank you.
You're not talking about a seance, are you?
Oh, heavens no.
Thank God.
Emil's right. I'm much better at tarot cards. I can read for you or for someone else if you prefer.
So that... I mean, this doesn't really match up, does it? If they're like Christian or Catholic demonologists, I mean, the Warrens were Catholic, as I recall. Why would they then be going, oh, let's read some tarot cards? It's just, let's just mash up a bunch of spiritual stuff. It'll be fine.
Are you sure you don't know anything about the Black Wolf?
I never did, dear. I told you. Really, you mustn't confuse the vessel with the voice. All I remember was seeing a very bright flash like lightning. Next thing I knew, Emil had me outside. Whatever it was very powerful. Very powerful.
Tarot, thoroughly ridiculed in every story that later leans on them for plot.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to do my tarot reading.
Don't you worry now. I know what I'm doing.
Again, if these are meant to be sort of Christians...
Push your vital energies into the cards.
Why have they got a pentagram on the back? Also, aren't you meant to, like, shuffle and deal tarot?
Is your soul card. That which applies to all of your lifetimes. It's the Empress. Oh, that's a good one.
What's it mean?
It means that your soul's journey is one of leadership. There's great strength here, and intelligence. This card represents what you're like in this lifetime. It's the Chariot. Self-discipline, control. You need to feel you have a plan, that you're testing your abilities. The Chariot's very masculine. In combination with the Empress, it tells me that you're currently exploring your male side. You will seek out great achievement, but it does have its price.
Doesn't sound anything like me.
Yes, dear. The third card represents the other. You've pulled the Magician. Who is he, dear?
Paul Daniels.
Excuse me?
Oh.
Your other, the Magician. Oh, this is a very powerful card. Major Arcana.
My other?
Everyone has an other. Let's see. I bet it's the Schottenjäger. What's his name?
The Schottenjäger? Gabriel Knight.
A name of power. He is powerful, this one. The Magician is dexterous and cunning, mischievous and manipulate.
That's Gabriel, all right.
And very strong with magical and occult powers. Now, this is interesting because your card, the Chariot, is all logic and reasoning, while his, the Magician, is spiritual and intuitive. You two are quite a pair. The fourth card shows what you're trying to achieve at this moment, your immediate destiny. It's the Strength or Lust card.
Lust?
Not that kind of lust, dear. It's a trial card, finding the strength to continue some difficult journey. It also represents the integration of conflicting energies. That must be your Chariot and his Magician energies. Strength also means bonding those energies, loving without judgment, learning to love the beast.
Uh-huh.
What is this trial, dear? Do you know?
Well, Gabriel and I are involved with a case right now.
It will be a hard time. You must let your love give you power. Use the positive energy of your union or you may not succeed.
I think you have the wrong idea. Gabriel and I just work together.
Yes, dear. But if I might just suggest, when you're facing negative forces, the positive energy of love is a very vital weapon. You make yourself vulnerable when you resist your own tools.
Well, Gabriel
that's
is
been
a tool.
helpful.
I hope so, dear.
Well, there you go. Hello, Mirami. How you doing? Pentacles are not the same as pentagrams. Thank you very much. Dropping the knowledge. Imagine being told you're trans by a tarot reader. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, now you mention it. Yeah, she is the Scully to his Mulder. Leave him to scat and yog on while you ride away in the chariot. That tickled me very much, Kira. Thank you very much. Half Gabe, Alt for Grace, indeed. Right, let's talk more about this tarot reading. Oh, let's get one for Gabe.
Maybe we should do a reading for Gabriel.
Oh, let's! It's a little like spying on someone unawares, but what the heck?
Pick a card, any
Reach
card.
out to the cards and to think about his essence. His soul card is the Magician. Yes, dear, it reflects your other exactly.
Well, maybe, but I'd rather hold out for David Copperfield.
And his lifetime card? Oh, goodness. The Lovers.
You mean the sole purpose of his life is in his pants? Doesn't surprise me.
It's not what you think, dear. It's a duality card. As a lifetime card, it refers to Gabriel's own duality. Good versus evil, physical pleasure versus spiritual growth, that kind of thing. His challenge is to integrate the conflicting parts of himself. Until he does, he'll never find peace. And you will find peace when you acknowledge all of him. Find a way to love the worst as you already love the best.
You're really reaching.
Mother.
His other is the High Priestess.
Let me guess. That's me, right?
No, dear, it's not. The High Priestess
I know,
represents
Mother.
psychic mysteries, deep wisdom. This is a very different energy from your earthy one. This must be our connection. To the voice, dear! Someone is trying to communicate with Gabriel. This force is represented by the High Priestess.
That's not much help. What about the Black Wolf?
But it is a help, dear. The High Priestess is a spiritual guide card if ever there was one. The message must have been a warning.
If this force is connected to Gabriel, and if he's so very psychic, then why doesn't it just go to him? Why say it to me?
Maybe Gabriel's blocked. Maybe he's purposefully blocking. There is that duality business. Let's go on and see if it becomes clear. The fourth card, remember, represents the current situation. It's death.
Well, of course it is. It's always death.
Nothing to worry about then.
Now, you just leave interpretation up to me, Sugar Pie. It's a transformation card. Dying to one thing and being born to another. It is painful, but it isn't necessarily bad. Two of Wands. Oh, my.
What?
A 2 is not good here. Wands is Mars in Aries. That's a war card. In conjunction with the death card, there are 2 possible transformations.
2 transformations?
Yes, dear. Gabriel is waging a spiritual battle. The transformation might be good or evil. That must be the purpose of the High Priestess. She's trying to guide him.
So you think he really might be in danger?
Oh, yes, dear. Gabriel's very essence is at stake. If he takes the wrong path with his powers, Imola and I will stay in town. You must let me know if anything else happens that we can read for clues. Let the Force use you.
The Force? I thought you were Catholic.
I'd better go.
Anytime you need us, stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
Alright, let's go back to some chirpy music. Oh, but not the usual thing. Let the Force be with you. Exactly. Yeah, some kinky Jedi shit going on. Yeah, and yes, Mother. These two are exceptionally weird. Our little Ed and Lorraine Warrens. But yeah, look, something that wasn't part of the Major Arcana. Eventually. Maybe they actually did do a bit of research into tarot. The only reason I'm saying they're Catholic is that I'm piss-takingly calling them Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were Catholics. Well, Lorraine's still with us. So yeah, that's the only reason I'm saying that they're Catholic. They've definitely put themselves forward as Christian, but I find it a bit weird that, you know, the Christians like, oh, let's use the tarot. But, you know, there you go. Anyway, let's keep wandering around town. Let's just, you know, as per usual with all these games, let's just keep talking to everybody. Let's talk to the mayor. He's fun.
Guess they're closed.
Oh no. No mayor for us. Can we still go to the... Is he locked up? No, he didn't bother locking the cell though. The kids could have been in here and everything.
Those bars won't budge.
Claw marks.
That's the church in the square.
I don't think there's anything new in here really, is there? Unless we'll have a quick nose at the bed. Just in case, you never know.
Von Rollick slept here.
Yeah, it's probably a good chance we'll get locked in here at some point. Maybe with a werewolf. Well, nothing new going on here. Locked in maybe with a werewolf. Okay. Anything new in the church? Probably not. Oh, hello. We found Gerda.
Gerda's here. I wonder what she's up to.
Oh yeah, Gerda had a thing for the last Shatnyaga, didn't she?
Oh my god. Gerda was in love with Wolfgang.
Like, we knew this. We saw the thing in...
Boy, do I feel stupid or what.
Mm-hmm. Anything else going on? Nope, we're just spying on Gerda. Nothing else happening. Fine. What in the soap opera is this music? I'll have you know, this music was done by one of Doctor Who's most famous... Wait. Oh, not that Robert Holmes.
I don't want to disturb her.
The music was done by someone called Robert Holmes. Also did the music for Phantasmagoria. But it is not Robert Holmes, the screenwriter of many classic Doctor Who's, because he died in the mid-80s. So, it would be kind of funny if it were, though.
Gerda's at the church.
Yeah. Robert Holmes making an adventure game would be a blast. I mean, you definitely have a great duo somewhere. Like Jago and Lightfoot, the adventure game. I'm just wondering if we sit down here, maybe we're expecting a phone call. We probably haven't got enough to write a letter to Gabe yet, have we? Or have we?
I'll write to Gabriel. Soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water.
Yeah, no, nothing to write to him about. I was hoping that maybe we'd like trigger the phone call or something. Right, let's take the secret passage.
I don't want to go back into Gerda's bedroom. She might catch me in there.
Yeah, but we know she's at the church having a little mourn. Right, do some acting. Ah. We want some roses today. Are we trying to make it? This is what I'm wondering. This is what I'm wondering.
I'll leave the other roses on the bush. The castle looks huge from here. They've got more rooms left to restore than I thought. I think it'll be quicker to go back the way I came.
Presumably at some point we're gonna have to like sneak around the back here, but yeah, I think we're right. We're probably gonna make up with Gerda. Make up or make out? Back up, back up. Tell me what you're gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Sorry. That's the second time I referenced that song this week. Can't hear that song without thinking of the Neymar video somebody made of him rolling around. Okay. I do not know what you speak. You have enough of your coat animations. Football player, famous for right. Yeah, we give him Gerda some flowers. Thank you very much, Art.
That's better, don't you think?
I know. It's exceptionally beige. Beige coat.
I'm so sorry.
Beige pants.
I was an idiot.
Gabriel and I, we never...
I know. It's my fault. It's Gabriel's fault. He never tells me anything. I don't know why he didn't want me on this case.
Maybe he just...
Don't even try to make excuses for him. Still, he's up to his neck in it, I think.
No, that's the next game.
Will you help me out with something?
Of course.
I have to do some research on Ludwig. I want to go see some of his castles.
Take Gabriel's car. There's a map of southern Bavaria in the car. Ludwig's castles are all marked.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Now kiss. Okay, you're in a crypt. That's maybe not appropriate, but... it raises it. Now kiss!
I think she wants to be left alone.
Can we pick the wolfsbane yet?
I wonder what kind of flowers these are.
This author would love the dating sim era of games. You know that this author, Jane Jensen, author of these books, possibly has written for the dating sim era of games, but is currently writing gay erotica under a pseudonym. We need to warn her about Teo. Oh, not Teo. Oh, why do you have to bring him back up? Break my fucking heart. I can hear fireworks. Hope the cats are fine. Diva. Alright, here we go. Not quite sure where we are. Deliberate hand and steering wheel disguised fact she's not driving anywhere. Yeah, a week before Bonfire Night. I know, that's the thing. I mean, it's the weekend before Bonfire Night. And also, kind of handy, is that Diwali is also, I think it's November 4th. So basically, you're just going to have a week of it around the same time.
I can't see the displays until I've gotten past the counter.
But it's to your left, Grace.
I can't see the...
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Oh, could you find a more sour-faced clerk?
Ich hätte gern eine Eintrittskarte fürs Museum.
Ja, 8 Mark für eine Ganztagskarte.
Count every single bit, make sure it's not forgeries. God, you're the worst.
Danke.
Bitte.
Wow.
July 3rd, 1863. Elizabeth, you can have no idea, dear cousin, how happy you made me. The hours recently passed with you in the railway carriage I consider among the happiest in my life. Never will their memory fade. You gave me permission to visit you at Ischl. If the time comes for this ardent hope to be fulfilled, I shall be of all men upon earth the most blessed. The feelings of sincere love and reverence and faithful attachment to you, which I cherished in my heart even as a boy, makes me imagine heaven upon earth, and will be extinguished by death alone. I beg you with all my heart to forgive the contents of this letter, but I could not help myself. Ludwig.
Wow. Why is everyone so hostile? I know, right? Welcome to the museum. Fuck you. So where are we actually? Oh, this is the chemistry ones. Helen Shamsi.
Elizabeth frequently gave Ludwig advice on royal conduct, hoping to protect him from unfavorable public opinion. March 1st, 1865. My dearest Eagle, you have not written me in a few months. I have missed you. I often try to imagine what you are doing. I hear tales that you have been on retreat and have not been seen in Munich for some time. I suspect it is this new friend you wrote up so mysteriously that takes you away from home. I hope you are enjoying yourself, my beloved, but I beg you to caution. The people need to see you at the throne. I also hesitate to suggest that what your officials do in your absence may not always be in your own best interest. You have always been a true king, but you must let the people see you to ensure that they don't forget that. E. Your dove.
Everyone's obviously will get through. Not always, that's the thing. So the mayor of Littersburg was very nice and helpful and friendly. The priest of St. George Church was as helpful as he could be. Give the English, he wasn't very strong at English. The guy in the pub, Herr Huber, is mostly okay, but doesn't want to give away his brother's address, which is fair. The woman at the butcher's, where eventually we're going to buy some sausages. At some point we're going to buy some sausages. She seems friendly, but all she wants to do is sell the sausages. The post lady is perfunctory but polite. But very clipped though. Bitter. Yeah, so we're going to make... This is like the most sour-faced, the fuck you doing person that we've had so far. Well, I mean, except for someone like, you know, the fascist wolf cult people. They're definitely fuck you. Bavaria is based in Germany, Texas, utterly full of itself and at times quite racist. Okay, so I have a friend from Munich. I'm going to text her now and sort of like say, apparently you're a bit like the Germany Texans, full of yourself and quite racist. Monica's lovely. Barely known her to be full of herself, never known her to be racist.
Ludwig's friends were concerned for his mental state long before his arrest. June 14th, 1878. My beloved Eagle, in your last letter you spoke so movingly of your torment that I was moved to tears. What is this torment? Why won't you confess to me what is truly troubling you? You must know that I would never despise you, no matter how horrible you believe your sins to be. Please do not write such barbs to my heart by even suggesting such things. If you do not wish to confess to me, at least tell me how I can aid you. I am always your true one, your dove.
Hashtag not all Bavarians. What is Ludwig's torment? It's the twinks! The twinks! They torment me so.
In this letter, dated November 1886, Elizabeth of Austria thanks Bishop Frank for his assistance in helping her fulfill Ludwig's last wishes. She writes that she knows it was an unusual request, but she believes Ludwig had reasons of his own for wishing it to be done. She hopes that his spirit finds peace at last. No further reference to this letter has ever been found. One can only speculate what the last wishes of a cornered and embattled Ludwig might have been.
Oh, but we've got important
What were
answers.
his last wishes? This place is giving me more questions than answers.
Oh no!
They certainly make an incredible looking couple. They certainly make an incredible looking couple. They certainly make...
Right, she's just going to say the same thing for each picture, huh?
She's beautiful. One of Ludwig's few close friends was Empress Elizabeth of Austria. She was a distant cousin of the boy Prince, and he saw her often growing up. Graceful and beautiful, Elizabeth seemed to represent the feminine ideal to the younger Ludwig. Their friendship continued after her marriage, mainly by correspondence. She remained a source of stability for Ludwig throughout his life. In keeping with Ludwig's love of romance and drama, he called her the Dove, and he to her was the Eagle.
Oh, on the wings of a dove. Cece, she was assassinated. Oh, here we go. Art with the extra meta information for us. Thanks so much for that, Art. Let's get a save in. Nightbot's right. I should save. I'm a daft sod. After all, we got locked out the other day. What's happening here is that we're doing Gabriel Knight, the museum experience.
June 7th, 1886. A group of men arrive at Neuschwanstein Castle demanding to take the king in custody. With them is Dr. Guden, the doctor who had been in charge of Otto, the king's mentally ill brother. The men have an order for the king's arrest on the grounds of insanity. They are refused admittance by a brave group of farmers and local soldiers who have come to Ludwig's aid. They are forced to retreat to nearby Hohenschwangau. This is the first Ludwig hears of the conspiracy. Ludwig composes a pamphlet explaining the subversive acts of the conspirators and eloquently pleading with his people for aid. The pamphlet is smuggled out of Neuschwanstein and printed, but the pamphlets are seized before they can be distributed.
Look, a learning adventure game. I mean, to be fair, the very first Gabriel Knight game, there was a big chunk of research and stuff, and some seemingly good factual stuff about voodoo, and various sort of like split-offs and stuff. And then at some point they went, yeah, but we want to tell an exciting adventure story, so we're just going to ignore that and take you to Africa, where you you know, just go and raid some mounds and deal with some zombie beasts. So presumably here we've got like all this deep research into Ludwig, and at some point, you know, they'll just go, yeah, but he was actually a werewolf. But you know, Art's loving it.
June 12th, 1886. Ludwig knows the conspirators will return. He despairs. He asks his servant for the keys to the tower. The servant, fearing the king intends suicide, says the key is lost. Unbeknownst to Ludwig, the conspirators arrive at the castle. This time, there is no one to stop them. Ludwig is lured from his bedroom to the entry hall of Neuschwanstein on pretense. There, he is taken into custody. Ludwig is taken by carriage from Neuschwanstein to Berg, where his brother Otto had long been imprisoned. This is a great blow to the king's state of mind. While on the way, the group stops at Seeshaupt to change horses. Ludwig asks to see the postmistress, Frau Vogel. She brings him a glass of water and he says something to her. She never reveals these last words to anyone.
The mystery of Frau Vogel, huh?
June 13th, 1886. At Berg, Ludwig seems cooperative and coherent. Dr. Guden writes to the government that he has Ludwig well under control. The two men go out for a walk, and Dr. Guden is so confident he dismisses the guards. When Ludwig and the doctor do not return after several hours, a search is undertaken. The bodies of the two men are found in the lake, drowned. Circumstances unknown.
Dun 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 dun.
June 18th, 1886. Ludwig's funeral procession marches through the streets of Munich, followed by enormous crowds of mourners. The service is held at a packed St. Michael's church. Lightning strikes the church during the service, but no one is harmed. Ludwig's body is entombed in the Wittelsbach crypt at St. Michael's. His heart is placed in an urn in the pilgrimage chapel at Altading in the Wittelsbach tradition. The urn is shown to the right. His heart is in an urn. How bizarre.
I'm not going to sing it. No, don't. I won't. I refuse to. Besides, Art already told us these things about the last days.
I have no idea what that says. Looks old, though.
Stop it, Art. No. We're not singing that song.
Oh my God. That's the sleigh from my dream.
Oh no. It is the sleigh from your dream.
Ludwig embarking on his sleigh. The midnight sleigh rides. Ludwig went on long sleigh rides in the middle of the night, particularly in his later years. It is said that he suffered from insomnia, headaches, and toothaches, and the rides soothed his restlessness. The sight of the king's grand sleigh speeding through the countryside of the Alps often startled the peasants and became a superstitious omen of ill fortune. I can see why. But what was he doing out there at night?
He had insomnia, headaches, and toothaches. Dashing through the snow on a three-horse open sleigh, moaning as we go, oh my fucking teeth, Jesus! What's in the box?
Ludwig's death mask. Wow.
Not before Halloween, DJ. Talking at wolfing. Evil werewolf Santa. Oh no, evil werewolf Santa. You did it, Kira. Sex cults all the way. It is all a bit sex cultish, isn't it? That's if we're gonna sing any 90s song, it's sex cult.
Ludwig is Prince Charming. He played the part well.
Definitely dashing twink energy there, right? I think that's not much of a museum, is it? Can I ask for a refund?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Having paid for a ticket and looked at all the exhibits, we're now going to ask, is this the Ludwig Museum?
Ist das die Ludwig Museum?
Ja, ja. Ludwig der Zweite von Bayern.
Well, that's us told, eh? Wow. Who was that? And I know the song, Kira. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and it's not a great one, is it?
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment.
No, and she's got nothing to say to us. Tony Braxton, yes, well remembered art. Not take that. Oh wow, that's bad. There's something I always forget to do when we wrap up on Fridays at 8 p.m. Top of the Pops is on BBC4, and I always forget to watch it. I go onto Twitter and there's like a little circle of my Twitter followers who are like big into watching Top of the Pops. And it's they're in the middle of 1991, and I think they've just got to the end of Bryan Adams' Reign of Terror. But it's always quite interesting, sort of like, you know, watch Top of the Pops from the early 90s and go, what? Oh, what? We listened to that? Jesus, what in the hell? Are we just looking at it from afar? Oh no, there we go. Oh, we have a tour tape. Kathy didn't like most of the 90s music during the 90s. Don't you like it more now? Oh, but come on, don't you love saying park life to people who say wanky things online? Right, who's this
I don't
chap?
think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Oh, he's a guard, is he?
Our
Right.
tour begins in the entry hall. Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886.
Got a tour
He
tape.
assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died. Ludwig's passion was building castles. He built 3 during his lifetime: Linderhof, Herrenchiemsee, and Neuschwanstein. Plans for a 4th castle, Falkenstein, were underway when he died. In addition to his obsession with building, Ludwig also had a passion for classical heroic German mythology, a taste he shared with the German opera composer Richard Wagner. Neuschwanstein is decorated throughout with themes from these stories, most of which directly relate to Wagner's operas.
A bit of Wagner, eh? He totally weirded out Wagner, huh?
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story.
That big, thick women like to wield swords crafted by half-naked men.
These scenes seem to... These scenes seem to tell a story. I wonder where that door leads.
The closed door leads to the tower, which is not part of the tour. The king was making his way to this very door when he was arrested in 1886.
Too bad we don't have a cuckoo clock, but we do have a tour tape that tells us exactly where it leads.
I wonder if Ludwig really meant to throw himself from the tower the night he was arrested.
I love the fact that we listen to the tape and the guard moves into the next room.
You are now standing in the king's bedroom. The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, the tragic love story retold in Wagner's opera. The opera was given its first performance in Munich in 1865 and a 20-year-old Ludwig attended. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It took 14 wood carvers 4.5 years to create this room. It was this kind of extravagance that bankrupted the king. In the years before his death, he found it increasingly difficult to find money from any source.
That's it. Get your mug and camera, son. Oh, not even a little description. Oh, we're doing some tour tape.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde. Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Go on, jump on the bed.
Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep. Did they have running water in 1886? Did they have running water in 1886? Did they have...
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building and its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses. This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga. The king first saw Wagner's opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This too was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy. An ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life. He only wanted to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
A faker, a poser. To be honest, it's like seeing an opera at 16 and being deeply moved by it is just a bit catcher in the rye on there. And it's... Is it just... She's meant to be standing further back, but is it me or is this woman like massive? The big strong woman for you. I know you'll love a Sappho power dynamic. The power to make all your servants dress in cosplay is appealing though.
The miracle of the Grail.
Oh, the Grail. Oh, we got the Grail in here now.
These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old. More swans.
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
Whoa. All of a sudden, we're in a cave?
This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death. They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
It's it's definitely weird to build a we got two ways we can go. Men. He dreamt of men.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration. The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle. The study paintings depict scenes.
Right, that's gonna be the same thing, but you know, hey, let's have a good look at everything.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died.
Because
I wonder why he was...
Because it makes for a good story.
I wonder why he...
It was called, wow, what a room.
This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings. The original paintings were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself.
Oh.
This is the final room of our tour,
We're gonna have to loop that.
the Singers' Hall.
Thought we
It
were
was
done.
modeled after the Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings.
Yeah,
The
wolf
original paintings
huh?
were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself. While all the other rooms in the castle show scenes from Wagner's operas, the scenes in this room are not from any opera that anyone can identify. It is yet another of the many mysteries associated with the life of the fairy tale king.
So is this where they deviate from the real history of Ludwig II?
Why would Ludwig have wolf paintings in his castle?
Because he's a werewolf.
Why would Ludwig...
Engelhart and the blacksmith. Engelhart courts Hildegunde. The hunters track down Engelhart and Hildegunde.
Right, so if this is the last room of the tour, we missed some rooms though. Because there was like, what was over this way? Oh, literally takes us back here, huh? Wait. Oh, okay, we came from there. And we came from there. Right, okay. It makes sense now.
Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the lookout in the Singers' Hall.
Nice view of the Alps.
The death of Engelhard. The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron. Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Involving some wolves.
This is the final room of our tour. The hall was built for small. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings.
Why is that hotspot that then says no entry? What are you doing, game? Well, there you go. We've learned a lot of stuff about Ludwig. Blinking destinations of tasks left to complete the chapter. What tasks are left in here?
I picked up a tour tape in English on my way in. I picked up a tour tape in English on...
Okay.
A ticket to the Ludwig Museum.
So what might we have missed? We are playing an adventure game.
Picture Ludwig.
Not a museum simulator, but
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty. I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
If only we had a cuckoo clock, eh? Well, wait a second, because the guard might move on. Any second now.
This is the king's study. His reluctance.
Like, is it as much as to sort of like wait for the guards to move on and poke about?
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died. I doubt there's any... I don't think the guard...
Because there are definitely bits where sort of guards walk in and then walk off.
More swans.
But you seem to be a permanent fixture here, ma'am. Which makes me feel like there is something to do here.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
There is something in there, obviously. How do we make a diversion, though?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Knock over a candelabra. So there is not part of the tour.
I wonder if Ludwig really meant to throw himself from the tower the night he was arrested.
So there's up there, right? And maybe that guard will piss off in a second. Because he definitely did earlier. And maybe we can use the screwdriver to get our way in. Also, we got this letter to Ludwig II, which might be interesting in the other museum. Oh, why do the guards were moving about earlier? Why do they not move now when I want them to? We might need a guide in a bit, Ray. But I've got a feeling we might be on the right track, that we need to sneak somewhere when a guard's not about. Because they've been shown to move. But now he's just standing there. Do you ever have a lunch break? Let's see, there's nobody here.
These linens look serious.
Oh, you're still here, are you?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
And she looks out as if to say, is someone coming to replace me?
I don't think the...
Because this dude definitely walked away. Like, the first time we were here, we listened to the
Our tour
tape.
begins in the entry hall. Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886. He assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died. Ludwig's passion was building castles. In addition to his obsession...
I like Kathy's thinking. Go somewhere there isn't a guard. And hang around, and maybe the guard comes in. Yes, yes. Kathy with the big brains. So she comes in, so we go over here. Oh no, she's back here again. Okay, well that's fine because we hang around here. Brian's. We hang around here, and maybe the last from in there will come in. Brains. Brian's. There's the dude at the front. Then the next room has the beefier woman. Then there's this woman here who's the one we want to move. Because now we can look at this.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
Fuck it. No.
I doubt there's any... I doubt...
There's no guard in there, Grace.
I wonder why. I doubt there's a...
Boo, I know, boo. Boo wounds. So, like, we need to get him to move in here, so I think are there two exits? No, there are two exits. Hang on. Every room has two exits, but it's basically because you're going in a loop. Now, if we go in here, in comes the big beefy woman. And then she magically appears here. Yeah, both of these. Oh no. Ah. Aha. Wait.
This is Ludwig's private chapel. The king was a devout Catholic, as were all of the Wittelsbacher rulers. They supported the Roman Church even when other European countries were dominated by Protestantism.
It's a beautiful crucifix. Ivory and gold. It's a beautiful... The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about.
The stained glass window depicts St. Louis receiving the last sacraments.
I mean, is that it now? I'm sure, though, it's still flashing, isn't it? So we can stand in here. And with enough time, we get our... here she comes. The big guard. I'm sure there's many of you just sort of like drooling at the thought of being pinned down by her. And she steps back. Like, if we stand here long enough, does she come to this spot? We're in the same room. Because there are two interesting places, but okay, so the young lass is still there.
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it. I doubt there's anything left in there now.
Is that the clue of, hey, if you can move the guards about? Hey Jonas, how you doing? Bet Jonas is a fly-hander. You got a little lurk there, Jonas? A little lurk? We're trying to move some guards about. Hello. And then she just magically appears there. I want him to go so we can have a try of going in there. Shh, Jonas isn't here. Mary's totally not sending her love to her. Fine. Perhaps we have to lead them in a more convoluted route. That's me and Jonas trying to be all subtle and Ray. Hi, Mary, I love you! Don't know if we need to move the guards. Perhaps we need to move them in a more convoluted route. Yeah, we're trying to get a museum guard into King Ludwig's bedroom. That's what's going on. I'm sorry, Art. I try and be aware of the mic and shout away, but I obviously miss. There he goes. There he goes.
I wonder if Ludwig really meant to throw himself from the tower the night he was arrested.
There's no guard. There's no guard. Break in. Break in. Oh.
I wonder if Ludwig...
There's no guard. We can do anything we want. Right, he's here now. Which means she's here. No, she's going back there. It's something. It feels like something. Supposed to get a key or something from one of the other locations? Maybe. Maybe. You know what? Whoops. Let's go back to the museum. You steal his death mask so the facial recognition works to his secret wolf lair. I like that plan. Let's give it a save. What I'm actually wondering is, here we are at a museum full of letters, and we have a letter to Ludwig. No, you're not interested in it?
I don't have anything to say to her.
Nope. Yeah, well, you're no help. You were no help anyway. Oh, was there more stuff we didn't see? There's stuff we didn't see.
Looks like it weighs a ton. Ludwig's Grand Master wardrobe from the Knights of St. George. He looks so regal. Why would he give up all of this pageantry and become a recluse? Ludwig is Grand Master of the Knights of St. George. The Knights of St. George was an aristocratic society dedicated to the acts of chivalry. Ludwig loved the medieval pageantry of the order in his early years, before his increasing reclusiveness drove him to abandon public appearances.
Yeah, I don't think there was a time frame on the call.
Ludwig and Wagner. Ludwig loved the opera of his contemporary Richard Wagner. He helped support Wagner's music through much of his life. Ludwig considered Wagner a close friend, often calling him the great friend. Wagner encouraged this infatuation, some believe, for personal gain. Typical artist.
Typical artist, Jesus. Ludwig's diary. Oh, there's lots of stuff we missed.
Even after Wagner's death, Ludwig still showed signs of obsession with the composer. This letter, written in 1882 by Ludwig to the conductor of the Munich Opera, instructs the conductor to make preparations for a new Wagner opera. The conductor went to see the king as instructed. When he arrived, Ludwig was ill and refused to see him. Nothing further was ever heard of this mysterious new opera. Was it a figment of an ill man's desperate wishes?
That meant to be a big clue.
Ludwig is offered a crown of laurels by the genius of immortal fame. 26 July, 1874. By the power of the lily, we shall have the strength to resist all temptations throughout the whole year. 26 July, 1875. Solemn oath before the picture of the great king. Refrain for 3 months from all excitement. This oath has its binding power as well as its potency by de par Leroy, LNR, DPLR.
What excitement. I need to see more of that diary.
The excitement of all the twinks.
Richard Wagner.
Ludwig. The original diary is kept in the Royal Archives. A few entries are shown on the opposite wall.
I've got to see that diary.
Here we go. We've got a plan now.
Ludwig's diary. Ludwig kept a diary from 1869 when he was 24 years old until his death. The diary provides a fascinating look into the mind of this tormented man.
The original diary is kept in the Royal Archives. A few entries are shown on the opposite wall.
We've got to see the diary. How are we going to see the diary?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ludwigs Tagebuch im Museum?
Ja,
Wo kann ich Ludwigs Tagebuch hier anschauen?
die Tagebücher sind ganz persönlich. Die sind in den königlichen Archiven. Niemand darf die lesen.
Aber
Nein, niemand darf die lesen.
Danke.
Ooh. Woman is not much help, is she? No one can go there. Yeah.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Im Museum ist einen Brief von Ludwig über eine neue Wagner-Oper.
Ja, ja, ich kenne diesen Brief.
Wo kann ich mehr von dieser Wagner-Oper sehen?
Ja, ich weiß nichts über Wagner. Das hier ist kein Wagner-Museum.
Ja, ich weiß.
In Bayreuth befindet sich ein Wagner-Museum. Versuchen Sie es halt doch, ne?
Bayreuth. Danke.
It's not a Wagner museum, it's a Ludwig museum. But we've probably had the appropriate conversation to lock up and unlock a new area. Ta-da! There's still more to do there apparently, but ta-da! Let's go to the Wagner Museum.
Grüß Gott.
Guten Tag. Ist das die Wagner Museum?
Ja, you're an American, aren't you? I'm afraid the house is closed this time of year. It will be open next month.
Crap.
You are interested in Wagner?
Very interested. Very recently very interested.
Yeah. Most of the house is closed for cleaning, but a few rooms are open. I shouldn't let you probably, but if it is only you, you are alone, aren't you?
Endlessly.
No, I've got a tour bus with me.
Come in and look over.
That's very generous. What do I owe you?
Georg Immerding. It's only a few displays. Besides, I wouldn't be much of a shining knight if I charged you.
Thanks, Georg. My name is Grace.
Hello. Have a good time.
Wagner's piano. On this piano, the maestro composed his later operas, including The Ring.
Do we? No, we don't get to play on it.
Franz Liszt, composer and Cosima Wagner's father.
Listomania.
Richard Wagner.
No offer to give her a personal tour? Well, it's kind of busy.
The death of Wagner. On Ash Wednesday, 1883, Wagner suffered a heart attack in a Venetian gondola on the way to San Michele. His wife and the gondolier carried him into a church where he regained consciousness. Wagner died 4 days later on this sofa.
Oh wow, wonderfully morbid. But the sofa he died on.
Wagner's death mask.
Another death mask. Give it a big hand though.
Wagner's desk, exactly as it was on the day he died. It's a letter from a Monsieur Beaujolais, dated September 1881. Looks like he's discussing acoustics and sound waves, and crystals. Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth Theater already built? Why would Wagner be worrying about acoustics?
Art went on tour of country home outside Berlin. A chair or a guy died in it. Not bad. I went on a tour of Arnold Schwarzenegger's childhood home, just outside Graz in Austria, and the garden was full of Transformers. I don't think there wasn't there was nothing there that was original to when Arnold lived there. There were reconstructions of, these are the comics he might have read as a child, and this is what his locker might have looked at when he did national service. And here are some props from some of his movies. What a tourist trap. It is miles out as well. It is so out in the fucking country. It's ridiculous. Acoustics? Oh, very good, Kira. Very good.
It looks like an architectural drawing of a theater. The Wittelsbacher Theater, München. Every square inch is measured.
Sounds like a clue.
It looks like every square... It's a letter. Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth...
Anything else on the desk?
It looks rather simple considering the grandiose stuff Wagner composed here. It looks rather...
Have you thought about peeking around the back for a lost opera? Right, what's going on here?
The great patron himself.
Ludwig as the classical Greek hero.
So what we're saying is that Ludwig and Wagner had a thing.
Ludwig's death mask.
Wait a second.
A portrait given as a gift from Ludwig to Wagner.
Isn't Ludwig's death mask in Ludwig's museum? Something's going on here.
June 10th, 1881, Munich residence. Great friend. I am writing to you in the middle of the night. My blood is pounding too wildly for sleep. Tonight's performance, how can I describe it? I am unsure whether to be terrified or thrilled. Perhaps I even feel hopeful. If it is hope, you have given it to me, my friend, for the first time in years. We must speak. Something happened during the music tonight, but I must have your absolute confidence. As you love me, come at once. Your devoted king, Ludwig.
Gay! Definitely.
July 1882. Great and beloved king, Monsieur Beaujolais and I have finished the diagram. We checked the figures many times and Monsieur is confident that it will work. 8 identical fixtures are to be made from the diagram and placed in the theater exactly as specified. I'm sending the diagram with your courier. Be full of hope and have courage. All will be well. Your own, Wagner.
That definitely sounds like something from
Ludwig's death mask. These look like production designs. I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though. These look like production. I don't see any. These look like I don't see anything that looks.
Alright, okay, so. Oh, anything else here? Worth clicking on? Nope, nope, nothing worth clicking on there. Love a little model.
This must be a model of Wagner's own theater, here in Bayreuth. This must be a... Opera costumes. Opera costumes.
Oh, that's where we came from. Alright, literally we've just been in a little loop here. Aha, let's talk to this fella.
What are you doing here if the museum is closed?
They always like to have a caretaker here. It's a good job for me. I can soak in the atmosphere of the maestro while I compose.
What are you composing?
This? Oh, a new arrangement. One of Wagner's pieces.
For the Bayreuth Opera?
No. I am only a student at the university. I study music, composition, conducting.
Is there much of a call for conductors in Europe?
Ask my brother. He is the conductor for the Munich Opera.
Well, that's convenient. Does that mean you get free opera tickets?
Yes. I get a week's pass to the Opernfestspiele, the opera festival in Munich. It starts in a few months.
Hope I'm still around to see it.
Come with me if you like. If you're still around, I can go backstage and all sorts of things.
I'd love that. If I'm still in Germany, I'll call you, all right?
Yeah, good.
Oh, it is a date.
Tell me about Wagner.
He was a character. He spent most of his life trying to convince rich patrons to subsidize his work. Unfortunately, he had expensive tastes. You see, he believed that someone of his genius deserved to live well. Can't argue with that.
But Ludwig II supported him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, but Ludwig came along very late in Wagner's life. By then, he had already been run out of Venice and most major cities because of debt. Ludwig saved him. And the music. Best thing Ludwig ever did.
Do you know anything about that letter from Wagner to Ludwig in the display case? The one about the diagram?
Ah, no. Some sort of equipment for Ludwig's theater. But I don't know why Wagner would have cared about this. If he was worried about any theater, you would think it would have been his own theater, here, in Bayreuth.
Have you ever heard about the letter that Ludwig wrote to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera?
You're full of surprises for an American.
What do you know about it?
No one knows anything about it. It's like a treasure map, you know? It's probably a complete fairy tale, but it does make you wonder.
You have no idea what it could have referred to? Maybe something that Wagner was working on with Ludwig?
If there was, there's no trace of it. Except perhaps in the dreams of unemployed music students.
Have you ever heard about the wolf panels in the Singers' Hall at Neuschwanstein?
Did my brother send you here?
No.
Probably not. It's only the letter to the conductor, the wolf panels. Oh, My brother thinks I am crazy because of all my theories.
What theories?
Give me theories.
Quatsch. If there was a lost opera, a lost Wagner opera, and if one could find it, to a conductor, this would be like finding King Tut's tomb. But people have looked for it before. If it ever existed, it is gone forever. My brother says I waste my time even thinking about it.
Well, I don't know, we still talk about the Lost Opera.
I'm curious. Is there any other information that points to the Lost Opera besides Ludwig's letter and the wolf panels?
It's nothing. I'm not even supposed to have seen it. You see, my brother says that Wagner was too egotistical to have produced a lost opera. If he was working on something new, every person in Bayreuth would have heard about it. On the other hand, it was in Ludwig's character to have wanted a private opera.
But it wouldn't have been private. Ludwig's letter shows he intended it to be played in Munich.
Yes, but that it would get so far without Wagner telling others? Why keep it a secret?
Maybe there was a very good reason for secrecy.
For example?
Like... Never mind.
Like Ludwig being a werewolf? Well, you're interested in things. Maybe you'd be interested in...
I'm not sure Georg would want to see that.
Okay, maybe you wouldn't be.
Wagner souvenirs. Don't think I need any of those.
What's that book in the case?
Cosima Wagner's journal is locked up for preservation.
Huh.
I don't have anything to ask Georg about at the moment.
Well, we know where his journal is. Save the game, because Nightbot said, ask Georg for his number. Well, I mean, we know where to find him,
I don't have
right?
anything to ask Georg about at the moment.
Alright, let's just have a little look in the map, see if... Oh, yeah, there's stuff to do in every place. We will turn this into a dating sim. So, you know, one of the interesting things about this was...
I doubt there's anything.
Was the design for the room, right?
There must be a...
But we appear to be missing something?
I wonder if Ludwig really...
So how's your day in Guardian, Jenny? Well, it was super quiet, except this one American just came, stood utterly still in each room several times all afternoon. Then she left, and then she came back again. Anyway, let's give it... We've got a week to think on this now, because I'm going to wrap this one up for the night. because we've hit our 2 hours of gameplay, so yeah, we gave that a big save. The plot thickens, eggs hatch from chickens. Let's see who's a boot for a raid, but thank you everybody for hanging out with us and going on some big museum tours. That's basically all today was a bunch of museum tours, but you know, we learned a lot about a lot of things. Vielen Dank. Bitter. Bitter. Let's see who's about. Emmy is probably still going, right? Emmy's probably got like another hour or so in them. And we do love Emmy, so let's go and see Emmy the Odd. Let's go and see all the odd bods. So, probably back at some point in the week if I'm not too tired for some Final Fantasy VII Remake. Otherwise, we'll be back with this on Friday. We got some raid messages here. If you're a subscriber, you can use my big head. Nightbot is not a subscriber. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, folks. Lovely times. Lovely to see you and hang out with yours. So let's go and join Emmy and go hang out with them instead. And have some lovely times with them. You ready? Okay, see you all. Bye now. Bye! I think we're raiding. I hope we're raiding. Yes, apparently we are.
Hooray, DJ Nerd! DJ Nerd! Hey, howdy, thank you for the